Hi there, welcome back. This is another autumn themed video. I'm just showing you some of these lovely chrome nail powders that I'm hoping to use in this tray. Also some of this lovely gold paint glitter made by Valspar. The chrome powders you see on the left of the screen I decided not to use, but look at these two moulds. These are from a company called Mould and they're great apart from the fact that where you've got those support pieces, the horizontal and vertical lines that you can see, they tend to show up in the finished piece. I'm not sure quite why. But the piece of paper you can see me holding here on the left hand side of the screen was for reference for colours. They're scrapbook papers and or card papers used for making cards and crafts and things. I wanted it to sort of reference to these colours, see if I could get them to blend. So using a selection of those beautiful nail powders there, and look at the effect. Beautiful, real warmth and gold. Now what I thought I'd do in the middle here, I've already done a little bit and then realised I wasn't video recording it. So just dipping a nice little fluffy brush in there and then literally just tapping the brush to get the glitter to just sparkle onto the tray. There we go. And then just blending it in. There we are. Oh, a little bit too much up in that top there, but never mind. We're going to blend it and blend it and blend it. So once you're happy with your result that you've got, then you do what I do, put it to one side and go on to your next tray. Have a look at that from the other side. You can see those colours. Absolutely stunning. If the finished piece looks just as good, then it'll be great. So here we go, we're doing the other tray now. Now these are what I would call irregular shaped trays. They are gorgeous. Obviously you can do it in whatever size or style of tray you have, or shape even. Just making sure all the sides are coated as well. Love this. And also, of course, as you can see, I'm wearing gloves. Now, mixing up some resin. This is just regular epoxy resin. It's a 1-to-1 mixing ratio. Everything that we use in today's video will be listed in the description box with links of where you can purchase them. Adding in some of that lovely, beautiful gold mica powder. This was from Jules at Resin Jules. I think it was part of a Scoops that we got from her. And why not check out Jules at Resin Jules on her Instagram tonight? I think at 6 p.m, her and Helena from Resin Detra Supplies are going live for one of their Scoops evenings. You can pre-order your scoop and make your purchases, and then they actually sort out your scoop, what's going in your scoop for you live on Instagram. It's quite exciting and fun. So I've also added in some white pigment paste there, mixed it up, and then you end up with this sort of beautifully warm, milky, sort of coloured resin, a little bit of flecks of glimmers of gold there as well. So pour it slowly and steadily into your mould. Now at this point I did not realise my mould wasn't on a level surface, and there's a little bit of spillage happens down towards the bottom of the screen, which you're probably going to see. Look at that, see? Uh-oh. So that's the dangers that you can come into and experience, and so make sure that you are working on a completely level surface before you start pouring resin. So just going in and doing the other tray now. There we go. Realise again that one wasn't level, honestly. Just mixed it in. I must add as well, I did mix the two. The resin and the harder was mixed for a total of 5 minutes. Now, demoulding. This bit's been sped up along with other bits in the clips in the video, as you haven't already realised. You don't need to sit and watch me dust mica powders and things and chrome nail powders on moulds for 10 minutes. So hence why we sped them up. So this is the demould. So you can see here the resin shrunk back slightly from the edge of the mould. That creates a little lip. It can be a bit sharp, so do go careful. Oh, reflection of my top there in that. And do you see what I mean about those lines? They're the support lines for the mould whilst it's curing, and they've come through, which is a shame, but to be honest with you, it's fine. It doesn't detract from the piece. So then just demould the other bit. So yeah, with that little sharp edge, we've got the same thing happen here. all we're going to do is just knock it back, as in, and by the way, knock it back is the term I mean, to do a little bit of light sanding around the edges. And that's all we need to do there. Look at those two, they're beautiful. The only thing I did notice is that some of that lovely golden glitter, the paint glitter, has come off and not on my hands, but that's okay. So I didn't show you these at the beginning. This was very much organic project, let's call it that. It developed as we went. So decided to add in some foliage and some of these beautiful butterflies and moths, dragonfly there I think, and these molds are by Redesign by Prima. They are gorgeous, bit more pricey I suppose compared to cheaper molds, but they are such good quality. They are a matte mold as well, I might add. So I've swapped over. This is Wayne now, and he is going to dust with this beautiful chrome powders some of the molds here. So then the rest of this bit of this section is sped up because, you know, you've seen us do these quite a few times. And if you haven't, why not check out our playlist of videos where you can see us using these molds where we've used them before, how we use them. He's just cleaning it up there with a bit of a regular wet wipe, or we use specialist wipes that you can get from your do-it-yourself store, B&Q over here in the UK. Contractors clean-up wipes, they're great for sorting out resin and cleaning up molds and all that sort of thing. There we go. So he's being quite particular where he's placing the different colours of these chrome nail powders. You don't have to do that. You could do it all one colour, multiple colours, multicoloured even. I mean, it's totally up to you as well what colour theme you use. We just went with these lovely deep rich autumnal sort of leaf colours, the reds, the oranges, coppers, bronzes and the golds, because of the time of year it is, and we thought it looked lovely on a black unit that we have in our hallway. I thought they would pop with colour even more. So again, just using the foliage parts of this mould just to do this one. Look at those beautiful colours. I love the gold, absolutely love it. But then if you watch our videos regularly, you know that I'm a bit partial to a bit of gold. So yes, these are matte molds, they're not shiny. So obviously with the demolded result, if you want a shiny surface, then you need to either coat them with some varnish or apply some UV resin and so on. Obviously, if you're going to use UV resin or mica powders or epoxy resin or eco resin, make sure you're working in a well ventilated area and you're taking all the correct PPE precautions. Now, didn't show you these as well. Quick flash there of a mold. It's a bird mold. I probably could have left that bit out actually. But yeah, spoiler alert, we do use them as well. So if you've watched our previous videos, you'll have seen us using those beautiful bird molds. So there's a big hint then as to what's coming up. So Wayne's is now filling resin into this other beautiful foliage mold from Redesign by Prima. If you've joined us today for the live premiere, thank you for joining us. If you're in the live chat, hi. I hope you're enjoying the video. Have you used any of these molds? What have you been doing for autumn? Have you made anything that you're, particularly autumnal themed? We haven't made a lot of Halloween stuff this year. That's by choice. However, we will be taking part in a collaboration with Claire's Crafty Corner, and that's on the 24th, I believe the 24th of October, so a couple of weeks' time. So, hit like, share, subscribe, and you'll see that it will be a Halloween one. And I'm hoping it's going to be quite spectacular. Or should I say spooktacular. Anyway, almost there now with filling up these gorgeous molds with the resin. And then the next step you'll see will be the demold, the lovely exciting bit. Sometimes some people think that's their favourite bit. Why not let us know in the comments, what would you prefer to see? Or what do you like to see? So here's one of those bird molds. As I said, he dusted them with the mica powders, or not the mica powders even, with the chrome nail powders. Can you imagine these colours on their fingernails? Oh, They look beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Right, here's the second one. You will see the demold of these. We did film that, and you will see, obviously, they feature quite heavily in the finished articles. So here we go with the demold. Now, with these molds, you do just try and press away from the resin. I know that sounds strange, but we've got, as you know, you look at that colour gradation there, beautiful. Bit of overspill there that we will trim up with a little pair of sharp scissors. And here we go with the second one. Beautiful. Look at the markings and the detail on those leaves. I'd love to get more of these molds, but as I say, they are a little bit more expensive, but well worth it. And you can use them for anything. Obviously, if you're going to use them to decorate cakes and pies and baking and all that sort of stuff, don't use the same set for when you're making craft stuff. Look at that. So yeah, all of these needed a little bit of tidy up around the edges. We did that using an emery board or a little nail file. You can just use if you're happy to use a deburring tool, then by all means do that. They were a bit more pliable still at this point, but that was fine because I wanted to try and shape them around the tray, which I'll explain in a moment. So just going in with a very sharp pair of small, these are actually embroidery scissors, which we don't use for embroidery. We use them for doing this sort of thing. So here is the first of the two bird molds. Just demolding that. This is the rounder one. Oh, he's so cute when you see him. Look, so sweet. Not lots of difference in the colour gradation there with those chrome powders, but that's okay. And here is the second one. Oh my goodness. So you can see a bit more of the colour variation there. Love this. Do you have a favourite one of these two birds? If so, let us know in the comments. Do you have these moulds? Have you used them? What colours have you used? So this was me trying to plan out what I was going to put where, which bird I was going to put on which tray, and so on. Was I going to add the dragonfly? Were we going to add any of the butterflies and so on? So this is still quite pliable. It is cured, but it's bendable and moldable. So I'm going to use some of this lovely blue tape I've got. And this is just a time lapse of me using the tape to try and position it and shape it to how I wanted it to be. And then once I was happy with it, left it for about 3 or 4 hours so it'd cure up a bit more and hopefully then cure to the shape that I wanted it to be in relation to the tray. Hopefully you understand what I mean. So I also gave a little bit of treatment to the dragonfly's wings, although I'm not sure that really shows at the end, but never mind. Did the same thing to the other one as well. And now this is 3 to 4 hours later, and I need to stick the foliage, the leaves and the branches and so on, down to the main tray. And I thought I'm going to do this using this glue. It's an activated glue. Now, do be careful, don't get it on your hands because it will stick. It sticks quite well and very quickly. So you can see me here, I'm doing my best, and in the end I decided to take all the tape off and redo it, and then just held it in place, making sure it was fixed down where I wanted it to be until it had adhered completely to the surface of the tray. So here we go, we're going back and doing the dragonfly. It's a little bit on there. I'm just moving it around with a little brush there, and then just applying some pressure to get it to stick down to the tray. Now I also decided to use this butterfly. Now yes, you will see the underside of the butterfly. I am going to go back and just paint that, I think probably in the bronze or the gold, just to blend it in. Now this is everything stuck down where I want it to be, but although I do like the matte effect, I do think it just needs a bit of highlighting. And yes, surprise, surprise, I'm using gold. So these are the gold Decor colour pens. which reminds me I do need to reorder these. Just pulls out a bit more of the detail, brings it, just gives it a little something extra. And here we go, we're just going through on a few of the feathers of that lovely bird. So these are the finishing shots. Look at that. So obviously I did the same with the other tray as well with regards to the gold, and gave them some gold beaks as well. I think that's actually supposed to be a moth on the front of that one. I suppose with hindsight it needs to have more, it needs to have some of these beautiful rich bronzy reddy sort of colours, coppery colours, but you know, I went with what I had at the time. Very, very pleased with the finishing results of these. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let us know if you like the trays and if it's inspired you to have a go for yourself. So here are the two together at the end. Hope you've enjoyed the video. We'll see you again next Friday. Something maybe a bit different this time. Take care, everyone. Have a good week. Bye-bye.